Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, happy Friday Eve. We've almost made it.
Happy Friday Eve. That is the first I've ever heard of this.
No.
In your life?
In my life.
What is wrong with you?
I'm being so serious.
Everyone
I've
says
never
Friday
heard anybody
Eve.
ever say Happy Friday's Eve.
Okay,
No
something's
way.
wrong
I don't
with
believe
you.
that at
I
all.
swear to God.
That's everyone
Well, I didn't know
says
what
this.
stupid dessert you made. How do you expect me to know what that is?
No, I gotta
Apple
make
crisp?
apple crisp.
Yeah, apple
I gotta
crisp.
make it for the
Apple
morning
crisp.
show.
You never heard of
Where am I
apple
living
crisp?
today? Apple crisp and Happy Friday's Eve.
I can't believe you've never heard of Friday Eve. That's
Alex,
a little disappointing to me.
Please tell me you've never heard of it.
I've heard of Friday Eve before.
There we go. See? Told you.
The day before everything is an Eve.
Yeah. Just like Christmas Eve is now like
Yeah,
a big
that's
thing.
different. It's a holiday.
No,
It's just
but
Friday.
every Friday is a holiday. Just like Turtleneck Tuesdays.
All
Turtleneck
right.
Tuesday
Well,
Eve.
if that's the case, then Monday we have a new thing going.
Turtleneck Tuesday Eve.
It's Tuesday, Turtleneck Tuesday Eve.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
Learn something new every day.
Speaking of important dates, the future, the past, I wanted to open the show up today talking about really the Detroit Lions and their future. And not only their future, but putting the whole NFL into perspective for you guys just a little bit. Because I think you guys are familiar with the famous saying, if you don't learn from history, history will repeat itself. And that is so true not only in sports, but so many different aspects of life. So, Adam, what the hell are you talking about? It's 8 in the morning. I'm trying to have my coffee. Where exactly are you going with this? I get it. Hear me out. I want to talk about our perception of success, especially in Detroit. Now, with the Tigers, the Wings, the Pistons, you've seen success. But what if I told you the last time the Pistons won an NBA championship was in 2004? That's 17 years. But it doesn't feel like it. Does that make sense? The last time the Tigers won, 85. But you had so many ALCS and World Series runs from what, 2006 to 2013-ish, 2012? Doesn't feel like forever ago. The Red Wings, last cup, 2008. Doesn't feel like forever ago. A 25-year period where you were always in the playoffs. Now, where am I going with this? Now, unfortunately for the Detroit Lions, they've only won their division, I should say, 3 times since 1963. 3 times. The fewest in their own division in that time span. So, why I'm telling you this is I want to shed a little light about the NFL. And we'll start with the Minnesota Vikings, a team that is in your own division, that in the decade has won a division title, that since the 2000s has won multiple division titles, been to multiple NFC title games, but they have not been to a Super Bowl since 1977. Almost 45 years since their last Super Bowl appearance. It does not feel that way, though. Why? Because Randall Cunningham takes them to an NFC title game. Because Case Keenum takes them to a title game. Because Brett Favre takes them to a title game. Adam, what the hell are you trying to tell us? In the 1970s, the Minnesota Vikings appeared in 4 Super Bowls. They have not appeared in one since. But since 1977, they have won 11 divisions, made the playoffs countless times, won countless playoff games, and have appeared in 5 NFC title games. That's why 45 years, waiting for that Super Bowl, the top of the top, it's not the worst thing. Cubs waited 100 years. A little different, but a little more dramatic. But where I'm going with this is even the Green Bay Packers, guys. Just put success into perspective. The last Super Bowl the Packers had was 11 years ago. It's already been 11 years. They have not been to a Super Bowl since. And the Packers won 2 Super Bowls They actually won the first 2 Super Bowls when the NFL was made. After that, from 1967 to 1995, they had not appeared in a Super Bowl. 28 years. They had not gone to a Super Bowl. 28 years. And in those 28 years, they only won the division 3 times. Sound like the Lions to me, doesn't it? Now, unfortunately for the Lions, it's been a 58-year pattern of just no success. But where I'm going with this is even the best teams go a tremendous amount of time without getting it done. Unfortunately, the Lions just have never gotten it done, so you never give them the benefit of the doubt. And why I'm coming to you with all this information as well, now that the Lions are in a position where I think I could argue in the last 10 years I've never seen a fan base and an organization more in sync. Okay? What is success, Detroit? Success is not winning the Super Bowl. That is the ultimate goal, the greatest goal of all, that only one team can achieve every single year. There are 31 teams, by that definition of success, that are failures every single year. It's not about winning the Super Bowl every single year. It's about winning your division on a consistent basis, winning playoff games, getting to NFC title games, even if you lose, progress, getting there, giving the fans and your entire fan base something to look forward to. That is success. And why I'm bringing up Detroit is I want to reiterate, you cannot win every year. And since over the last 58 years, you've won the division only 3 times, and you've only appeared in 1 NFC title game. In 58 years. That's your history. And whether or not it changes with this regime, yet to be decided, yet to be seen. It could totally change. But I want to prepare you guys for success. Why is Jim Caldwell remembered in the light he is, especially with me? Why? 0 division titles. When you win the division, that is an accomplishment. That is a goal you set out before the season starts. What happens when you win your division? Your fans are treated to a home playoff game. That's a good way to get the fans happy. Even if you lose that game. But if you win, all right, on to the divisional round. One step closer to potentially an NFC title game. Wouldn't that be nice? Success, guys. What is success? Is it the Super Bowl? I don't think so. The Steelers haven't won a Super Bowl in over a decade too, let alone have been there, but they've been to AFC title games. They've played in the big moments. They've won their division. That's why nobody in Pittsburgh is panicking. We haven't won a Super Bowl in 15 years almost. No, it's cool. This is the NFL. Tom Brady, the anomaly. Like those dynasties are so rare in the NFL. Happen every, 15, 20 years. Where's the dynasty in the NFL right now? Post Tom Brady, what does it look like? Mahomes hasn't even put together a dynasty. He's been to 2 straight Super Bowls? Looking to get to his 3rd straight. They've been to 3 straight AFC title games. It's hard. Football's hard. Winning is hard. Especially at that top level. The Lions have never done that. And why I bring this up? Well, I want to name off the coaches since your last division title, which was in 91. 91's the last time you won a playoff game, actually. This is where I'm going with this. Since the last time you've won a playoff game, let alone your division, there have been 10 coaches that have won the division. Mike Zimmer, Matt Nagy, Matt LaFleur, Mike McCarthy, Lovie Smith, Dick Duron, Brad Childress, Dennis Green, Mike Sherman, Mike Holmgren. Since 1993. Since that time as well, the only coaches that have managed not to win the division are Marty Morningwig, Bobby Ross, Steve Mariucci, Rod Marinelli, Jim Schwartz, Jim Caldwell, Matt Patricia, John Fox, and Dave Wanstead. 7 of the 9 coaches in the NFC North since 1991 that have failed to win the division, 7 of them, of the 9, are Detroit Lions head coaches. You see where I'm going with this? Guys, a division title goes a much longer way than setting out, we want to win the Super Bowl this year. Everybody does. One team gets to do it every year. Detroit, give me a division title once every 4 years, and I would be happy with that. And you know who won a division title once every 4 years? From 1977 to 2021? On average, the Minnesota Vikings did. And I told you the Packers went 28 years and only won 3 divisions until the mid-90s, and they took over, and they have dominated the division since. God bless them. They went from Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Totally makes sense. Good for them. Lions have not done anything. So is my measure of success for Dan Campbell just winning a playoff game? No. Win the division. That shows me you're the best team in the division. You are a contending team. You were able to win your division. That's step 1. Step 2, win a playoff game. Absolutely. But you start with the first step, guys. Don't try to leap, we want to play in a Super Bowl. That's 2 teams get to do that every year. 1 gets to win it. And you're one of the few teams in the NFL that have not even been to a Super Bowl. So how about you start with the division? Win that every 3-4 years. Your fan base will love you. You think the Ravens fans are upset that they're 4th in their division right now? No, they have a division title, a lot of them, over the last 10 years. They're happy. They've won playoff games recently. They're fine. You want fan patience? Start low. And I'm not saying low in terms of importance, but really start with the basic steps. Win your division. Advance in the playoffs. Make runs. And everybody understands the NFL cycle, and I hope I can explain it to you, which is you cannot be great for 20 years like Tom Brady. That is an anomaly. Even Aaron Rodgers struggled at points in his career. And he's just now 2 straight NFC title games, looking to get back to a 3rd. Guys, Patrick Mahomes, 1 Super Bowl now in 4 years. If he goes the next 5 years without a Super Bowl, okay, he has 1 Super Bowl. It's a big deal. You know what I mean? We look at the extreme success and try to measure ourselves there, and that's just not the case. No. Win your division first. That's step 1. So yeah, guys, the future, full of optimism, full of hope, but it's also very scary. And I seriously warn you guys. I mean it wholeheartedly. Learn from your past. I just told you. Vikings haven't been to a Super Bowl in 45 years. It hasn't felt like it. Packers went 28 years. Only won their division 3 times up until 95, 96. It's not easy. Start in the division and then talk to me about playoff wins and NFC title games and then Super Bowls. Start in the division. Don't go 58 years with only 3 division titles. Your fans don't want to see a division win every 16, 17 years. That is a horrible average. That is horrible optics. Compare that to the Vikings, 1 every 4 years. Kind of makes a difference, guys. The Packers are 1 every 2.1 every 2.1 years, something like that. So every other year, they're basically winning the division. Start there. Let's do that first. Maddie, we got to go to break. Sorry about my rant.
Hey, every Friday Eve has to start with a rant.
Friday Eve. Oh, my goodness. I need to get used to this.
Well, anyways, when we come back, we're talking about Wildcard weekend. But first, let's talk about Cintron.
All right, guys. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings and wow, that was a tongue twister. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. Guys, when you head down to the LCA, whether you're watching Cade Cunningham or Lucas Raymond, check out Cintron. Delicious energy drink. You can mix it with your drinks. I'm not much of a mixed drinking guy, but damn it, I like my energy drink straight. I'll drink Cintron by itself. I think that's a very normal thing to do in our society today. So give it a try. Head down to the LCA, support the teams, and have a nice energy drink. Tastes good. Gives you the energy you're looking for. You won't crash midway into the game. You won't fall asleep at halftime and be the guy that falls asleep at the game that people throw popcorn on. Have a blast. Try it out. Cintron, guys.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're heading into Wildcard weekend, and quite honestly, I'm very excited for this weekend's game, actually. But speaking of which, Adam, who do you think has the most to lose?
Wow. I love that question. I'll tell you what. There are 3 individuals / teams that I believe have the most to lose. I'm going to start with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills last year in the AFC title game. A lot of pressure going into the season. They under-deliver. They barely win their division at 11-6. They walk into the playoffs with a home playoff game. Now, why do I feel this team has pressure on them? Well, it's quite simple, to be honest. You were the team that was expected to compete and fight with the Kansas City Chiefs. And here you are struggling your way into the playoffs. Not a good look. So Buffalo, I think a lot of pressure this weekend. They're playing their division rivals, the New England Patriots. This is a must-win. Buffalo, you cannot drop a home game to Bill Belichick, especially after the way they beat you at home, only attempting 3 passes. So for me, Buffalo, the first team on that list. Second, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy. Dallas is in their first playoff game in a minute. And they have not won a playoff game, guys, since when? Trivia? 2014 against the Detroit Lions. And we all understand the famous non-call, or I should say the call that was taken back for defensive pass interference. That's the last time Dallas has won a playoff game. And this is Mike McCarthy's first playoff game since he lost in the NFC title game to who? Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons, 2016. It's been a minute for these guys. And you paid Dak Prescott $40 million, Jerry. You paid him $40 million. You don't lose at home in the wild card with a $40 million quarterback. Happens once every 8 years, maybe, sure. But no, you don't do that. A lot of pressure in Dallas. You got to win now. This isn't we won our division. Mike McCarthy, we're so happy. Dak Prescott is back. No, time to win. You really need to win this football game. The 49ers are an extremely difficult opponent. I will likely be putting money on the Niners. But we're talking narrative aside. Guys, this is a must-win. Dak Prescott has to show up. And if the Cowboys aren't able to run the football, then what? Dak, show me why I paid you $40 million. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And, of course, I think the obvious, the most intriguing, the one that probably gets the most attention, last but not least, Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. I think this is obvious. They are in, and they meaning Stafford, McVay, the Rams, they are in deep trouble. And they are in for a rude awakening Tuesday morning if they aren't able to deliver against the Arizona Cardinals. That's the reality. When you trade 2 first-round picks to upgrade at quarterback, winning the division is a standard. They got it. Check. Good job. Home playoff game. Doesn't feel like home in Los Angeles sometimes. But here you go. I don't care about the circumstances now. A wild card exit would be an extremely bad look for Sean McVay, for Les Snead, for Matthew Stafford. And I think they have the most pressure going into Wildcard weekend. Look, I've sat up here. I've defended Stafford to an extent. But when you trade 2 first-round picks, again, context matters here. We're trying to contend. We're trying to get back to the Super Bowl. How do you get back to the Super Bowl, guys? You win playoff games. You won your division, which means you made your path to getting to an NFC title game a little bit easier because you get to host one playoff game, potentially, depending on which teams lose and win in the divisional round. So you get to host a playoff game, which means you should be able to get into the divisional round. That's why you got rid of Jared Goff. It's put up or shut up time for Matthew Stafford. I mean, look, down the stretch, way too many turnovers. We can talk about that for days. Mm-hmm. But it's money time. Welcome to the spotlight. You are in a playoff game. You are hosting a home playoff game. We traded 2 first-round picks for you. Deliver for us. Our defense has delivered at times in the season. He's been the best fourth-quarter quarterback across the NFL all season. He has the highest passer rating, the most yards, the most touchdowns, the most game-winning drives. He has been the most outstanding quarterback in the fourth quarter. But he kills you in the first 3. Mm-hmm. Drives me nuts. Drives everybody nuts. It's always been the knock on Stafford.
Well, I want to bring this up. A team that has nothing to lose, and I thought this was hilarious. Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, my goodness.
Coming out yesterday. Yeah, we're probably team 14 to 14. You know, we're not really supposed to be here, but we might as well go have some fun.
Yeah, look, I love that mindset, though. Very relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
Look, they know they're playing a better team, but you want to catch that better team on their off day.
I'm not even sure he wanted to play another game.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to be done.
Did he? I don't know. He seems like the guy that doesn't know when to quit while he's ahead. He should have been gone a few years ago. We saw that. So, look, I think Kansas City makes work of them pretty quickly. We saw how it played out when they played earlier in the year. That was a blowout. That wasn't even a fair matchup. So, yeah, I like what Ben said. I think it's good reverse psychology, get into your opponent's head maybe, but I don't see the Steelers being able to pull off an upset.
Not a chance.
I do not see it. Even with Philly. Everybody's writing off Philly. I think it's a closer game than maybe what most people think. But Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like that is always going to be the X factor. Later on in the show, we're going to go over, actually not later on, next. The next topic we have is ranking the top 5 quarterbacks in the wild card right now. And I mean, I don't think the list should shock you, but it probably will, depending on how some of you take it. This is not just who has the most skill, but we'll leave that for later. But regardless of the rest of the postseason, whatever happens in the divisional round, the title game, I don't care. All that matters in this moment is that the Rams and Matthew Stafford, the man to my, on your screen, what, to my right? To my left. So to your right.
Yes.
And to my left. Excuse me, this reverse thing throwing me off this morning. The man to my left needs to deliver. He needs to deliver. You can't go out there, Matthew, throw 2-3 interceptions, win the game, and think people are going to feel confident about you. The narrative is now in your court, Matthew Stafford. You won your division, something you could never do in Detroit. You are hosting a home playoff game, something you were never able to do in Detroit. It's not about if you were the problem anymore. It's how great are you? How great can you be? How much did Detroit drop your ceiling? And you're going to find that out in the postseason. It's money time. Where are legends made, guys? Not just in the regular season, postseason. Drew Brees, Super Bowl. Rodgers, Super Bowl. Brady, way too many. Montana, Young. The Mannings. You want to be a legend, win a Super Bowl. And of course, there's the Joe Flacco's, the Nick Foles, the Trent Dilfers, whatever. But I'm talking when you have a career like Matthew Stafford, yards, touchdowns, etc. You have the resume, but you have a donut in the playoff column.
You're out.
Tough. Even Phillip Rivers at least has multiple wins in the playoffs, multiple AFC title games. Matthew, I'm telling you, a lot of pressure this weekend. you got to win this game. And you got to play good. You can't just win the game, throw for 189 yards and 3 interceptions. No. You got to be the reason why, or a big part of the reason why your team is winning on Sunday. Maddie, I cannot see an outcome where he plays horribly, even if they win, that saves him from extreme critique.
Not a chance.
But it is, the whole point of football is winning, to be fair, but not in his case. This isn't, I don't care if Tom Brady throws 4 interceptions against the Eagles. If they win, I don't care. It's Tom Brady. Stafford does not have that cachet.
Well, he doesn't have that, and he's been doing it all season. He's been recklessly is not the right word I wanted to say, but he's been getting critiqued for his interceptions all season long. He's had way too many. That's all anybody's ever been focusing on. So if he comes into this game and he starts throwing interceptions, it's not going to go well for him.
Yeah, a lot of pressure this weekend. I'm all for it. Who do you think wins that game? Well, we should probably talk about that more tomorrow, but just gut feeling.
I have the Rams winning that
Thursday's
game.
Eve.
I do.
Fridays is it? What is it called? How do I pronounce it? It's
Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. It's Friday Eve because today is Thursday.
I still can't believe you've never. You've heard of it before.
You Australian.
You've heard of it before.
You are not allowed to tell me what I'm supposed to and not supposed to.
Okay,
know.
if I'm Australian, then it's Saturday Eve.
Is it?
Sorry, Friday morning.
My head hurts.
I'm
My
already
Friday Eve
taking
gut
a
feeling
sleep.
is the Rams take that game.
A lot of pressure on Stafford, huh?
Yes. A
All right.
lot.
All right, we got to go to break. When we get back, I'm going to give you the top 5 quarterbacks heading into Wildcard weekend. I'm excited for it.
Yes.
Who do I get to talk about?
You get to talk about the Fulling Warehouse.
Ooh, Fulling Warehouse. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards.
We're coming for you.
Maddie and I openly send out a challenge. One-on-one.
We're waiting for a response.
We're waiting for a response via email, text. I even accept fax. Yes, it's 2021, but I do have a fax machine.
Boo!
Phone call works too. You want to send me a TikTok? Do it.
Oh, God.
I'm on TikTok. Ryan, you can send me a TikTok dance. We're waiting for you to accept our challenge.
We'll even send you one back.
We'll even send you one back. The Fulling Warehouse, guys. Home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. They have over 100 beers, a $2 Mystic beer machine, and multiple bars throughout their facility. Bring in your own food or have it catered. Guys, the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Visit their website at follingwarehouse.com. That's follingwarehouse.com.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Putting on a show here, that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you want to follow us. Download our app on Google or Apple, and make sure you're downloading our podcast wherever you listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Adam, we're going into Wildcard weekend. We got to talk about who we're ranking as the top 5 quarterbacks.
All right, top 5 quarterbacks going into the weekend. Number 5 will not shock many of you. I'm sure you will actually agree with me this one time. This may be the one time I agree with the general audience, and I'm so excited for it. Number 5, Matthew Stafford. 0-3 in the playoffs. He's improvement mode. I'm not going to rank him in the top 3, top 4. He's improvement mode. Got to limit the turnovers. How do you win playoff games? Winning the turnover battle. It is one of the longest, one of the greatest truths of football. Win the turnover battle, your chances of winning are good. Stafford, don't turn the ball over. He was brought to L.A. to do a multitude of things. Win the division. Check. Win playoff games. Not game. Games. To be decided. and help them get back to a Super Bowl, yet to be seen. It's in your court, Matthew. He's been turnover prone down the stretch. And you could argue that it'll lead, that he'll be leading his team against one of the better road teams in the NFL. Cardinals had one of the best road records, if not the best record on the road in the NFL. And may I remind you, they did beat the Rams in Los Angeles earlier in the season. But my money on Sunday, well, actually Monday, this game will be played on Monday. My money will be on the Rams and Stafford. Number 4, shockingly enough, Josh Allen. Number 4 on this list. I'm not sure how I feel about the Bills and Josh Allen. I told you guys earlier I felt they were under pressure going into the postseason. They're playing Bill Belichick, and that's never going to be fun, never going to be easy. The Patriots are not going to hand you that game. You're going to have to go out and win it. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to make a ton of mistakes. They're going to play field position. They're going to try to control the clock with the run game. Josh Allen, what can you do for me when you're on the field in the most important game of the year? Again, they were in the AFC title game next year. People forget.
Yeah.
So quick to forget.
I had those two flip-flopped. I had Josh Allen at number 5.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay.
Stafford at
I
number
don't
4.
hate that. I don't hate that. Well, I think here's where you're probably going to hate me. 3-1, I don't think we are going to agree on anything.
Probably not.
All right. Number 3, I've got Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes for me, number 3. Not in my top 2 going into Wildcard weekend. Probably one of the very few times myself, and not only myself, probably the general population, are sleeping on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, which I think is a good thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
But down the stretch, listen, Mahomes in his last 4 games, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's been playing at an efficient level, averaging 2.5 touchdowns a game. Maybe the Chiefs aren't ready to give up their AFC crown just yet. But who do you got at number 3?
People are going to hate me for this one. I have Tom Brady at number 3. I know.
This is my... Yes. Good
I do.
job.
Sorry.
Good.
Not sorry.
I don't blame you. He's 44. But I've got him somewhere else.
I know.
So, number 2, only the second person on this list, Matthew Stafford being the first, that will be making their playoff debut with their team. Obviously, Stafford, it's his first game with the Rams, so please understand what I'm saying there. His last 4 games down the stretch, Joe Burrow has been money. Do you guys remember Joe Burrow in the college football championship game after with the cigar in his mouth?
Yes.
Doing this stuff?
Uh-huh.
That's the Joe Burrow I've been seeing the last 4 weeks.
Yes.
11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Phenomenal. He's playing at a phenomenal level right now, coming off their first division title, going into his first home playoff game. I want all of Joe Burrow. For me, he's number 2 on this list. I'm assuming you agree with him at number 2?
I actually have Patrick Mahomes at number 2.
You have Burrow at number 1.
I do.
I want to give you the biggest hug right now.
I do.
Great. I love that. Mahomes at 2, okay, I can deal with it. But number 1 on my list.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I mean,
it's fine.
It's way too many Super Bowls, Maddie.
Yes, but is it way too many Super Bowls?
It could be another one.
It could be another one. But we have to wait and see.
I know.
My Friday Eve gut is telling me
I
Joe
don't see
Burrow
it.
at number 1.
Even at age 44, this blessed human who has given us some of the best moments in football led the league in yards and touchdowns at age 44. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's not slowing down. No matter the doubts I have about this football team, their health, their ability to repeat from last season, no matter any doubt I may have, and look, I already said it before the year, I don't see them coming out of the NFC. I don't see it. But even if I don't see it, I cannot be stubborn enough to not acknowledge this man is not human. He's likely an alien.
He's an alien, for sure.
He's definitely an alien, extraterrestrial, 100%.
Like from Pluto, not even from Mars.
100%. I'm with you on this theory. Not a human being. And I have to put him at 1. Part of me wanted to keep him out of the top 5. And every time I did the list and I'd keep going through, I'm like, he's number 1. I can't put him at 2, 3, 4, 5, or even out of the list at this point. The guy just doesn't stop winning. Drives me nuts, Maddie. Drives me absolutely nuts. What am I supposed to do about this guy?
Well, I put him at number 3. Don't put him at number 1.
I can't. He's too damn good. He's too damn good. But you know who else is too damn good? Michigan State. And Michigan State are too damn good.
Are we swinging into basketball right now?
Oh, hell yeah, we are. Hell yeah, we are. Coming off of last night. Almost buzzer beating fashion. I guess you could say point
0.01
left on the clock. What a game. I tuned in at the perfect time. A friend of mine posted something on Twitter. Apparently there was malfunctioning with the ESPN app, and it showed Minnesota was up 38-0 in the second half on Michigan State. And I just looked at it. What the hell's going on? So, of course, I did my due diligence. I turned on the TV right away. And, of course, it was a close game. It was a close game the entire way. Michigan State was up 4 late, really, within the last minute, but they couldn't hit the free throws, couldn't get the ball. A lot of problems for Michigan State at the end, but what did they do?
They pulled it off.
Hauser hits the late winner. And Michigan State are now, 14-2?
I
and
think so.
undefeated in the Big Ten. Currently ranked number 10, will likely be in the top 8 after this week.
I love Michigan State basketball.
Oh, I'm in love with them right now. And I'm more in love with them because I am a petty human being. I am. I am so petty when it comes to stuff like this. Because I was, of course, one of the people before the season. Michigan's running the table. Are they going to be a 26, 27, 28 win team? They may not even be in the tournament right now. They're actually projected a first 4 out. That is Michigan basketball. And I love it. And again, I'm not a Spartan. I'm not a Wolverine. But I am a man who has to sit up here in front of all of you every single day and talk about these teams. And when one team came into the year with 0 expectations and the other with all the expectations of the world, and one of them is having an awful season, and the other
is thriving.
The other is absolutely thriving, undefeated in the Big Ten. For me, I mean, it kills me on the inside. It makes me so happy. I become an evil human being, and I'm all for it, Maddie. I'm all for it. What do you think of your Spartans?
I think they're having a phenomenal season. Again, I love Michigan State basketball, so I'm always going to root for them. I see them doing very well. I can't wait for March Madness to see what they can do in the playoffs.
You know, I love this comment in the chat. Juwan Howard was born on third base. Way to throw that one back at Michigan, guys. I like that a lot. That's a great comment. Jim Harbaugh, of course, famously said after the Ohio State game that Ryan Day, allegedly, people think they're born on third base and think, they've got it all or that they're really good. I love that. I love that. Look, Juwan Howard did take over a stable program in Michigan. I think he overachieved last season, but he had a top 5 recruiting class. I think number 1 actually in the country. They had the number 1 recruiting class, if I remember correctly. And they look awful. And I try to warn you guys. There's a big difference between building a program that promotes 2nd, 3rd, 4th year players and the one where you get the guys that are going to the NBA after 1 year. Calipari struggles with it. He's one of the best in the game. Krzyzewski struggles. One of the best ever. They all struggle with it. Why? Chemistry. There's only one Kentucky team to ever win a national title. It had Anthony Davis and I believe Devin Booker, correct?
Yes.
So, 2 NBA, basically all stars, it took to win a national title. How many teams have those players that are recruiting like this? Gonzaga are so good for so long because their players make it to the 3rd and 4th year of their careers before they go to the NBA. I find it hilarious. Will Juwan Howard turn it around? I'm sure, guys. I'm not saying they're going to be a complete disaster.
I am.
Let's all hit. I know you are. You're a Spartan.
I'm not even a Spartan, though. I'm a chip. Fire up chips.
Yeah. Yeah, you chips are sketchy people. I don't even want to go there. I had one really bad experience at Central.
So do most people.
Don't tell that to Terry Foster.
Well, no, Terry's had a lot of great moments, so I don't think that works, but... whatever. I'm not gonna. This is not story time.
Oh, what?
We're not gonna do story time
with Adam?
We're not doing story time with Adam. But look, Michigan State looked really good. I think it's amazing for the Big Ten. Michigan's got a tough schedule coming up. And speaking of schedules, top of the hour. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys caught it. Michigan and Michigan State both released their 2022 football schedules. You're damn right. I'm excited to talk about it. And it's obviously way too early to be giving out predictions, how many wins, etc., etc. But damn it, we're going to do it anyway. And I am all for it. We do got to go to break. When we get back, Penei Sewell rated the 6th highest right tackle in the NFL. I'll talk about where I was right and where I was wrong on Penei Sewell once we get back from break. But before we go, I got to tell you about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm, not only a good defense on and off the field, but Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home lights, your temperature, everything, your garage door. They do it all. Detect smoke, carbon monoxide. Guys, it will even let you lock and unlock your doors. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Today, that's 1-800.
Stay out.
And that's Guardian Alarm, and they've been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, we're talking Penei Sewell. Adam, I want to hear where you were wrong before I hear where you're right.
Oh, yeah, you were not part of this. All right, so before the season started, Penei Sewell obviously struggled in the preseason. It was extremely difficult to watch. And, again, Lions trauma. You're coming off Jeff Okudah being a bust. And number 3 overall, you don't want to go back-to-back drafts missing on the first-round talent. Now, I never questioned the kid's talent, don't get me wrong, but I did question his ability at the time, in that moment, to be playing at right tackle. And he had proven me right up until week 1, where he was moved to left tackle, where he proved me even more right. Why? Because he went toe-to-toe with Nick Bosa at left tackle after playing the whole offseason.
Wait, I thought I wanted to hear where you were wrong first.
I'm getting to where I was wrong. But there has to be outliers. Like, you have to tell the whole story, Maddie. Or people just like focus on the one thing. So he starts at left tackle like I demanded for, because Taylor Decker gets hurt, and he thrives for 7, 8, 9 weeks. Does really good. Has a few bad games, yes, but it's a rookie. It doesn't shock me. And he's now ready, caught up to speed with the NFL game. Contact, physicality, the speed, getting off the line, etc., etc. Much more comfortable. Who comes back? Taylor Decker. Now, I am one of those people that said, and I have no problem saying I was wrong, I did not think he could transition to right tackle mid-season and then go back to left tackle eventually. And I'm not even sure what the long-term plan is with Taylor Decker at this moment, but that's not the point. The point is the kid is playing at a phenomenal level at right tackle, and I was totally wrong about that. And I have no problem being wrong about it. I honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, I hope I'm wrong, actually, because that means the Lions are benefiting. I don't want to be right that Jared Goff is a bum. I don't want to be right that things may not work out or that Penei Sewell wouldn't work out at right tackle. No, I'm glad I was wrong in that scenario. Rated the sixth highest grade at right tackle according to PFF. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stud athlete, extremely powerful, overwhelming strength. So happy for Penei Sewell. He had a hell of a season. I don't think the draft could have gone any better for the Detroit Lions. The second round picks, all right, whatever. Hopefully they take a good step year 2. But to nail Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown in one draft, that's you get thumbs up from me. That's how it's done. You nail 2 picks every draft. That's a hell of a way to go about it. I always use the Chargers example. You guys want to be a good team? You want to be a playoff team? I'll tell you how to do it. It's literally the most recent example. Go draft Darwin James, Joey Bosa, Justin Herbert, and Rashawn Slater in the first round for 4 straight years. Do that. That should help your football team. I think that helps your football team, guys. Yeah, getting the edge rusher, getting a quarterback, getting a safety, getting a tackle. Yeah, that helps a lot. And the Lions got a tackle, man. They really did. And I am so for it. Kid is an absolute stud. I bet if I stood by him side by side, he would consider me a snicker. He is unbelievably amazing. And look, I mean, that was his projection, though, coming out of the draft, guys. What was the word all the sexy analysts used, right? My favorite word, generational type, right? And it's always those generational types that have really high risk, high reward. And he has been high reward. And honestly, it doesn't even look like a risk. He's comfortable at left and at right tackle, and I am all for it. All for it. But moving on from Penei Sewell, I do want to talk about the Lions' season as a whole. Just for a little bit. I don't want to recap the whole thing. I have literally from February to the draft to talk about how the Lions' season unfolded. It's not what I'm going to do. What I am going to do is I want to ask you guys a few questions. I expect some answers in the chat, or you can call in, be my guest. But what was the standout moment and the breakout player for you this season? Now, I'm assuming we can all agree Amon-Ra St. Brown was the breakout player. Maybe that's too obvious of a question and answer. But what was the key moment when things turned around for you? When you started to believe that they were heading in the right direction? And I know this, I'm probably going to disagree with a lot of you. Because I'm sure what you're going to tell me is when Dan Campbell took over play calling. And I think that's one of the turning points. But I think the major one was the win against Arizona. For me, it was not the win against Minnesota. It was the Arizona win. Why? Well, believe me, I have the answer to that question. Believe me. Why? Because you wanted to see what a winning Dan Campbell football team looked like. How they won against the Vikings, that's not how you script it. That's not like, hey, this is how we play football. You can expect this for 17 weeks, and we're going to see what our record is at the end of the year. But with the win against Arizona, you saw time of possession, controlling the clock, running the football, hell, running for it on third down, didn't matter, and moving the chains consistently. You had outgained and outperformed the Cardinals up until the fourth quarter. I believe the number was 20 first downs to 8 or 20 first downs to 9, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on it. The point is, you dominated that game at the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. And it was in that moment where, nope, I know what a Dan Campbell football team looks like. Yeah, the win-loss record is not the best. May not be the best next year, but I know what it looks like. The thing that drives me absolutely nuts with head coaches is when they don't show me what exactly they're trying to do. If I can't even understand what the hell is going on in the field, how the hell do you expect the players to? How the hell do you even expect your fan base to? And it was in Arizona. Excuse me, against Arizona. It was a home game for the Lions, but it was against Arizona where I sat back and said, yeah, you know what, Maddie? That makes sense to me. That's how you play football. And if that's their formula, that's fine. I've seen it before. Cleveland, San Francisco, just to name a few. I've seen that philosophy. Mm-hmm. It wins games. Now, does it win divisions? You probably need better offensive weapons, much better defense, but they're building towards that, so I have no issue with it. But it was in that moment, Maddie, where I gave breathing room for the organization, the coaching staff, etc., etc. That's when I don't want to say they got me to buy in. My job isn't to buy in. My job is to criticize and praise, both when needed and necessary. If you do something wrong, I will criticize you for it. If you do something good, I will praise you for it. If I am right about something, I will tell you about it. If I am wrong about something, I will tell you about it. No problem. Fair game.
Several people in the chat are saying the turning point for them was when Sewell grabbed Donald by the face mask.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just bought me into Sewell.
Right?
That didn't buy me into the coaching staff direction of the team. Even early on, I was into Brad Holmes. I thought it was a really good hire.
Mm-hmm.
There were people at the time I did want more than others, but I think they just weren't interested in the job, like in Ed Dodds. But that's not the point. I'm happy with Brad Holmes. I think he's done a phenomenal job year one. He had to maneuver the cap in a certain way so he could sign the rookie class. Like I know what they got into. I know it wasn't going to be easy, and I didn't expect year one for them to win 8, 9, 10 games. But year two, I've said it now twice in 2 weeks. You have a future, and the second time I brought it up, it's all right. Year one's over. Start winning. You got to start winning football games now. Welcome to the NFL. Year one, honeymoon period. You showed that you can win football games given you play your way of football. Great. That's fine. The NFL is a tricky game, guys. Not everything goes to plan. It's like war. Everybody, all those commanders, generals, they all sit in that little room. They put out the map. All right, we're gonna take this city first, and we're gonna set up camp, and we're gonna funnel out this way. And what they don't take into consideration is all the things that could go wrong. Why? Because it's so easy to think about something and say, oh, okay, like that can work out that way. But the NFL is not like that. You can have the perfect game plan. What did we see against Green Bay? Earlier in the season, the perfect script. Everything worked in the first half. One team made halftime adjustments, the other didn't because they weren't prepared to adjust. And the second half happened. Oh, well, Adam, Green Bay's a better team. That's not the point. You don't give up halftime leads. It means you had something rolling. When they adjust, you adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Be a coach. So year two, I want to see winning football. I don't want to see... If Dan Campbell wants to live and die by going for it on fourth down like Brandon Staley, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I really don't. When I don't like the decision, I'll tell you about it. When I like it and agree with it, like the 2-point conversion against Minnesota, I'll tell you I like it. Having said that, again, where we get into very tricky territory with the Detroit Lions is what can you expect from this team next year, realistically? I think one of the easiest schedules in the... No, I think it is one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. You do have a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's anywhere near the top tier, but he's average. You know, he's middle of the pack. He can win you games. He's kind of Kirk Cousins, kind of Baker Mayfield, somewhere in between that. He can do good things for you. And down the stretch...
That's just rude.
I mean, it's the truth. Imagine, Maddie, honestly... Imagine I traded you and, like, I don't know, what's the equation, what's the comparison of draft picks here at this company? I don't know. Let's just say I gave you up and 2 first-round picks for another you. What does that say about you? What does that say about you?
That I'm not that great.
You're not that great. And I'm willing to give up my future.
Yes, but comparing
to upgrade
him
your
to
seat.
Baker Mayfield, come on. And
I mean, he has the turnover proneness of Baker Mayfield.
Cousins didn't even know where to line up.
Yeah, but Cousins, again, 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Like, I don't know how he did it, but he did it. They were 8 and 9, but look. At the end of the day, I think the team is in a better situation than I even expected this late on. The roster, much better than people gave credit for. People have to stop saying this is one of the worst rosters in the NFL. Mm-hmm. It is not. Jacksonville, okay, you have an argument. The Jets, Giants, Texans, sure. Lions actually have a pretty decent roster right now and pretty decent draft capital. And I'm expecting Brad Holmes to make some moves, and I'm all for it. I really am. Maddie, I do have one question for you. I don't plan on trading you, just so you know.
I hope not.
This is not no deal has been made. I haven't even taken phone calls. People call me all the time about you. I have not even entertained a phone call. But what does it say about somebody when they are replaced and the team or the people that are replacing them are willing to give more just to get rid of them?
Yeah.
And again, Matthew Stafford. In today's market, this offseason he goes for 3 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Not 2, 3. He does.
Because people finally realize what he can do.
Yeah, he does. And the Rams got him at a good price. And the Lions got a good ask for him. They got 2 first-round picks on a guy that was hurt at the end of the year.
Yeah.
They got a bridge quarterback. Now, I know Jared and some of the people in the building don't believe he's a bridge, but I'm going to label him a bridge until he proves me wrong. Sorry. He's a bridge quarterback to me, not the future. Prove me wrong, Jared. I would be more than happy if you became the Jared Goff of 4 or 5 years ago. Believe me, I would not complain. Can he do that in Detroit? Who knows? Should we ask him to do that in Detroit? Who knows? But how do you win consistently in the NFL, Maddie? Get the quarterback.
Yep.
Why did the Packers only win 3 divisions over 28 years? They had good coaches in that time span. No quarterback. No quarterback. They only won the division 3 times in 28 years. You've won the division 3 times in 58 years, and you couldn't even do it with the best quarterback you've had in franchise history. It shows that even if you get the quarterback right, there's no guarantee. But that's just with the Lions, I should say. So get the quarterback. I'll show you divisions. I'll show you playoff games. Get the quarterback right.
Yeah, and I think Goff can do it. I don't have any doubt in my mind that he can do it. I think is there better options? For sure. But are we going to get a better option? Probably not.
Well, are you going to get a better option in the draft? I think this is the draft where a lot of people, including me, and again, it's not draft time yet for me, where I'm going to dive in and watch way too many hours of film, and my wife is just going to look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you?
This is just Friday Eve gut
This is just conversation right now. Based on all the information we are receiving, this is not the draft to take a quarterback in the first round.
Right.
Or at least really early. Okay. So if you're not replacing Goff this year, it'll probably have to be the next year.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't be picking in the top 3, top 5 next year, in my opinion. And honestly, guys, how disappointed would you be as Lions fans if you won 3 games next year? You would look at Dan Campbell like, what the hell are you doing? Easy schedule, improved roster, healthy defense, healthy offense. What's the deal? And you would start questioning Dan Campbell. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. See, I don't expect them to be picking in the top 3, top 5 when Bryce Young and CJ Stroud come out. I don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is the long-term answer? Is it Jared Goff? Do they re-up him and then draft a quarterback and sit him for a year? Like the Kansas City Chiefs did? I have so many questions about the Detroit Lions and the quarterback situation. Do they go for Desmond Ridder in the early 2nd round? Late 1st round? I'm not opposed to going on a quarterback if Brad Holmes makes that decision. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I, right now, would not draft a quarterback in the 1st round.
Mm-hmm.
But if Brad Holmes makes that decision, just like Yzerman, if Yzerman hired Alex Westphal as the new Red Wings coach,
I'd be like, he's right.
I'd be like, he's
We're going
right.
with that decision.
He knows what he's doing. He has proven it. I'm going to give Brad Holmes the benefit of the doubt no matter what happens this offseason. We got to go to break. When we get back, college football's back, baby. Not really. But the schedule came out, which means I get to talk about it, and so does Maddie. Michigan State, Michigan football. Their schedule releases 2022. We'll get to it right after I tell you about Gypsy Vodka, which is the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Gypsy is gluten-free, corn distilled 6 times, using artesian spring water.
Ooh-wee.
Absolutely, Fish. Support our local brothers here in Michigan, Petoskey, Michigan. To be frank, try a bottle today. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy. And as always, people, drink responsibly.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, the season's over for college football, but the schedules came out for Michigan and Michigan State, so we are going to talk about it. We're just discussing here, Michigan has 8 home games next year.
Yeah, so they actually reshuffled the schedule. It was supposed to be Michigan State home to Michigan, and they reshuffled it to now it's back at Michigan.
Interesting.
So the schedule's been out for like a month, but I guess they reshuffled it over the past couple days.
Well, Adam, what are your first...
And we have a game in Ireland this year.
Who's we?
We, as college football fans.
Who's playing in Ireland?
Northwestern and Nebraska. So, not the best game, but 2023 is Notre Dame and Navy. So...
I'm speechless.
It's Big Ten game.
Ireland?
Yeah, Dublin.
I mean, that's kind of cool, but...
Thank you.
Other than... I mean... Location.
I mean...
What? Why are you...
Ireland, really?
If you want to grow the game, you got to go somewhere.
You can't grow a college game globally.
You can.
I mean, it does. I mean, I guess technically you could.
You can.
To get a global audience, but who's going to wake up? Oh, whoa.
They've had games in Ireland before.
I have an even better one
They've
for
had
you.
games in Ireland
College
before.
football starts at noon Eastern time.
They've had games in Australia, too.
It doesn't matter. Noon Eastern time, those games kick off typically.
Okay.
That would be 6, 7, 8 p.m. in Europe.
There'll be 5.
Depending on where it would be.
But they're not going to do it at that.
But that's when soccer happens as well, so good luck with that, buddy.
Well, they've had games in Ireland before a few years ago.
That's one-offs.
Penn
whatever.
State and whoever they played.
Let's get into the
Back
schedule.
when James Franklin actually had a brain.
Let's get into the schedule. Like I said earlier, it's way too early to be predicting the team's records, but damn it, that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Let's start with Michigan State. Looking at the schedule, October is where it's at for me.
Mm-hmm.
October is where you're going to find out if you got it or not. You play Ohio State and Michigan.
In Michigan, yeah.
Ohio and Wisconsin back-to-back at home, and then you travel to Ann Arbor for the Michigan State game. There are so many questions that are yet to be answered in regards to Michigan State. Who's coming in? Who's leaving? What are they going to look like in spring ball? But at the end of the day, I am bought into Mel Tucker. I really am. I believe in him as not only as a coach, as a recruiter. I think he'll recover just fine. Yes, without the Heisman winner. Yes, or excuse me, the Heisman frontrunner. They will be fine. Now, they may not replace Kenneth Walker with a guy like Kenneth Walker, but they may not need to. And they may take the next step in terms of their passing game next year. And maybe they run the ball maybe as effectively by committee. But I have full confidence in Michigan State. And I think where I'm going to set the bar for Michigan State on January, 14th? No, 13th today. On the 13th of January, way too early, I've got them at 8-4. 8-4. I see multiple losses in October.
Who do you think they lose to?
I think they lose to Michigan, but they beat Ohio State. And I think they lose the game at Maryland.
You think coming off a win at at Michigan State versus Ohio State, they're going to lose to Michigan?
Yeah, because the schedule goes in October at Maryland, which I think they'll lose. I think they'll beat Ohio State. I think they'll beat Wisconsin. And then they end the month playing Michigan. And I think they lose that game. I do. And I'm a nerd. I'm a numbers geek. And odds, percentages, what are the odds of something happening?
Yeah.
What are the real chances Mel Tucker and Michigan State start 3-0 against Jim Harbaugh in Michigan? I mean, he's the first to ever do it at 2-0. So I guess he's the guy to cavalier and do it. But you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Just optics-wise, it doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Could totally change my mind when the game actually comes around later in the year. But right now, just step back. All right, Michigan State have won the last 2 meetings. I'm going to give the nod way too early to Michigan. So I've got them at 8 wins. I think 9 could also happen. 9-3, 8-4. I think that's a good year. For Mel Tucker's sake, you're going to want to go 9-3 minimum. That way you can win the bowl game, get 10 wins, and back-to-back 10-win seasons. That's important. You want to be able to recruit at a high level. But so many unanswered questions with Michigan State that it's tough for me to project them as an 11-win team like they were this year. That's just very hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially this early on.
I don't know that I see them at 11 wins, but I don't. In my head, I don't see them beating Ohio State, who's going to be a bomb team next year, and then losing to Michigan.
Yeah, well, again, optics.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from a total different field of view.
Mhm.
I'm not looking at it from going into next year, what's going to happen. I'm looking at it, Mel
Numbers.
Tucker's not beaten Ohio State yet. 0-2. He's 2-0 against Michigan. When there is no better time to beat Ohio State than when they are the best team in the conference.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm just saying. I throw things out in the universe. I don't throw them out for no reason. I believe in this kind of stuff. I believe in optics, scheduling, what it looks like, what it means. Coming off a loss to Maryland, in my opinion. Rebounding against Ohio State, beating Wisconsin, but then coming back down to earth against Michigan. I see it. I think about this stuff a lot. I'm not right all the time on this stuff, but I do think about it a lot. It does persuade my thinking a lot. Michigan football. 8 home games, is that correct?
Yep.
It is officially confirmed. They have 8 home games.
8 home games.
Unbelievable. They have no excuse not to win 10 games next year. Let's start there. And then we can get into Michigan are losing 3 key defensive starters. But actually 4, including the linebacker Ross. So they're losing Daxton Hill, Ross, Ojabo, and Hutchinson. Good luck replacing that, Michigan. Really, good luck. That question will not be answered till October, which is exactly when they play Michigan State. So good luck, Michigan. Good luck. But I have to look at their schedule. 8 home matchups. I am confident that they win a minimum of 9 games. I think 9 is the minimum. I think Ohio State does run the table next year. And I think they're a 1-loss Big Ten champion. And I'm referring to Ohio State, not Michigan. I don't see Michigan being able to recover from that amount of talent in one season and be able to compete with Ohio State the way they did this year. And you just saw how far behind they were with Georgia. Ohio State's bringing in a number, 5 recruiting class, top 6 recruiting class? They're not messing around. Smith and Jimba, Marvin Harrison Jr., C.J. Stroud. Good luck, everybody in the Big Ten next year.
Literally.
I believe it is Ohio State's
I think so, too.
To your point that you brought up earlier. They are the alphas in that conference. But 8 home games? Come on. 7-1 minimum.
Yeah,
You're
at
playing in
least.
Columbus. The only game I could see you maybe losing was Michigan State. So if you beat Michigan State, you should be undefeated at home.
Correct.
Do they play Iowa on the road? Am I correct on that? Iowa is on the road, correct? Fish, help me out here.
Sorry.
Somebody?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
Iowa is on the road.
Mhm.
So all their home games are very favorable, especially early on. A lot of home games. Colorado State. There's some home games that are so easy.
They have 4 home games in a row to start the season off.
You should be 4-0.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the top 10 likely, Michigan. You'll likely be in the top 10. You'll likely be overrated. Mark my words.
I agree. And because they don't tend to lose at home very often
No.
in the big house. They just don't.
No, especially that to bad teams.
Yeah.
Which is what you play early on. You play bad teams.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't see a loss at home outside of maybe Michigan State, but I think Michigan are going to beat them this year. So where's the loss? That's already 8 wins. So if they go 1-3 on the road, which is very doable, they're a 9-win team. Bowl game, 10 wins. There you go. I just laid out your whole season for you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Congrats on the 10 wins. I don't think they win the Big Ten, though. I think we all agree
so
here.
either.
I do not think they win the Big Ten. We do got to go to break. When we get back, I wanted to do this yesterday, did not get a chance to do it. The current head coaching vacancies in the NFL, we're going to rank them 1 to 7. Now, there are technically, well, I should say, there are officially only 6, but technically 7. Because one team doesn't have an interim coach, and I don't count that as a head coach. So there are 7 opportunities for head coaches, or I should say new head coaches in the NFL. We're going to rank them 1 to 7 based on situation, roster, salary cap, ownership, etc., etc. But before we do that, I got to tell you about my good friends at Lady Jane's. Lady Jane's is the premier haircut shop for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're looking handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, especially gentlemen out there, it's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Live from Woodward Avenue. That's why we're called Woodward Sports. Detroit's real sports network.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. We've got 7 NFL coaching openings. Adam, let's rank these.
All right. We'll start with number 7. The bottom of the bottom. The dumpster of dumpsters. The team I don't want any part of, even though I do like their defense. And that is the Miami Dolphins. A GM that's been in charge for over 21 years. An owner that is extremely bipolar. And a franchise quarterback that I don't believe is a franchise quarterback. So Miami Dolphins is at the absolute low of low, considering their decision of Brian Flores. That's a huge factor in my decision making. So we'll start with Miami. Number 6, the New York Giants. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. That's my job. You know, I consider myself Mr. Honest up here. I tell you what I believe to be true, and sometimes I may be wrong, sometimes I may be right. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to mislead any of you. But I do not want to mislead you when I say this, but I really want you to open up to this idea. The Giants do need a GM and head coach. And I could make the argument that there are pieces on the Giants, given a smart GM, that you could work around, this team could win the division in 2 seasons. They could. They really could. But they need to get the quarterback, and that is why they're number 6 on this list. The Mara family, good people, good owners. They're well respected. They will not rush into this decision as they said themselves. Okay, great. You need a quarterback. It makes it extremely difficult for me to put you higher, even though I may like what the future could look like in New York. I do not like the current quarterback situation, so number 6 for me, the New York Giants. Number 5, a team that does not come as a surprise to most of you, the Chicago Bears job. Also need a GM and a head coach. That's a factor. The quarterback, do you have him or not? I think Justin Fields is a high-character dude. That does not mean he can play on the field. He needs to prove it on the field this year. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to not take as many hits. And whoever the new head coach and GM are, you're going to have 1 year where you can say it's a gimme. Because you'll walk in as the GM and head coach, and if Justin Fields does not perform well, you throw him away. Guys, we didn't have a quarterback. I'm drafting one. You need to give me time. If Fields does work out, oh, your job just became amazing. Franchise quarterback. You're set up for the next 10 years if he works out. So I do like some of the Bears' optics, but again, very tricky this morning for me to have them anywhere higher than 5. Number 4, honestly, likely the best roster out of all the teams available, but they're going to be number 4, the Denver Broncos. They're in the middle of selling the damn franchise. I have to take that into consideration. But again, they do have one of, if not the most complete roster of all these teams, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Having said that, I did mention it yesterday, everybody. 5-word game. Quarterback away, join the club. I don't care. Figure it out. Oh, well, we're just a quarterback away. If we could get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, or we drafted some. Shut up. Do it. Sorry. If I'm a head coach and I'm getting information, hey, Aaron Rodgers is not leaving. Hey, they're asking for 4 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, and the GM in Denver right now is not willing to do that. Oh, okay. Why the hell am I going to Denver? Why? So I work with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater? Get the hell out of here. I'm not going to Denver. Even though I think they are a win-now team if they get the quarterback, But the if on getting a quarterback, again, makes me really uncomfortable. And you'll see that pattern as I go up on the list of teams that have quarterbacks and the teams at the bottom that don't have quarterbacks. So that is the Denver Broncos, my friends. Moving on. Number 3. The Minnesota Vikings. They do have Kirk Cousins, who this year threw 34 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions, probably his best season. An unfortunate end to a tenure that brought multiple division titles, NFC championship appearances, etc., etc., drafting Justin Jefferson, 22nd overall, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, David Barr. Good players on that team. One of the best rosters available. But at the end of the day, a new GM and a new head coach, and they're going to have to decide, is Kirk Cousins the guy that we want to go toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers with? And if he is, Mike Zimmer showed you what he can do. Can you do better? And I am obliged to believe that they're likely going to go for an offensive-minded guy. And I think that is the right decision for the Vikings. So they're number 3 on my list. Number 2, a team that's in the only team on this list that's currently in the playoffs. And they have an interim head coach. And the only reason they're not number 1 is because, honestly, I think they may give this guy a chance. I think they give their interim coach a chance. But having said that, whatever coach is walking in, whether it's the interim coach now or a new head coach, they'll be walking into Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. I like the Raiders. But why I can't have them at 1, and honestly I struggled having them even at 2, was because of Mike Mayock, the front office, and their organization. I am not sure if they're going to be able to make the right decision. And I've seen them make a ton of bad decisions. So it's tough for me to buy in on the Raiders, but they're going to be number 2. And of course, number 1, guys, this should be the obvious one. And none of you should complain. The Jacksonville Jaguars have not only Trevor Lawrence, but another number 1 overall pick. And the 3rd most salary cap space available in 2022. That is a damn appealing job. Having said that, Trent Baalke, you drafted Trevor Lawrence. You effed up with Urban Meyer. You can't F up as another coach back-to-back. You better nail this coach. Whether it's Brian Leftwich, Kellen Moore, I do not care. Get it right. You will be out of a job if you can't get the head coach right. Trevor Lawrence needs stability, and the only way you get stability is by having the right coach in there. But whoever the coach is, again, remember the situation they're walking into could be really good really soon. Look, the AFC South, the Texans, that's 2 wins every year. You can split with the Colts, and honestly, you could split with the Titans if you get a good coach and a little bit better on defense. It's not the hardest division of football. It isn't. It really isn't. So yeah, Jacksonville, you get the coach right, you develop Trevor Lawrence, you could be winning the division in 2 years. So I think the Jaguars is absolutely the number 1 job. Maddie, if you were a head coach, of all 7 jobs I listed, which one are you taking?
I'm taking the Jags. I am.
Get the quarterback, huh?
Yep. Gotta have the quarterback.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. Also, they can attract free agents like hell. Again, the 3rd most salary cap space in 2022. I like the Jags as well. I'm going to agree with you there. But I got to say, if I'm a coach and I'm feeling myself a little bit and I want to challenge and I want to do something no one's ever done, I think I'm taking the Bears job.
Really?
Yeah. Even if I don't believe in Justin Fields, if I walk in and that kid turns out to be a franchise guy, I'm set for 10 years. I could say the same with Trevor Lawrence, obviously.
Yeah.
But with the Bears, I always think, what if with the Bears? What if they had moved off Ryan Pace after Matt Nagy's 2nd year? Where would they be right now? I think they'd be a hell of a lot better position than they are right now. And they're kind of entering a rebuild. Very old on defense. Not the most skilled players on offense outside of David Montgomery and Darnell Mooney. Need to upgrade the offensive line. A lot of work to be done there.
Yeah.
If I'm a coach and I like Justin Fields and I like having player personnel control and I can convince them to give me both, I like the Bears job.
If I was being risky or wanted a challenge, the team I would take is the Vikings.
Ooh.
Regardless of how I feel about Kirk Cousins.
It's the purple for me. I could never buy in. Honestly. You guys want to know why? I can't do it. Could never envision myself supporting the Vikings.
A purple team.
But who the hell am I? Honolulu Blue, right? I'm not one to talk, am I? I don't think I'm allowed to have an opinion in this conversation.
You can't.
So,
no.
We'll move off that. Whew, my goodness. Show's flying by. It's already 9:21. Jesus Christ.
That's the one.
Got a few minutes. I want to ask Fish a question.
Ooh.
In other news around the world.
Uh-oh.
Fish, you brought to my attention Australia. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to talk about it, and then we got to go to break. What the hell's going on, and why should I give your country any attention?
Well, it's a fascinating country. It has a lot of good sporting events, like the one that you will be watching, or I may force you to watch, on Sunday night and Monday, the Australian Open. Your guy, Novak Djokovic, somehow the stupid judge decided to grant him access to the country.
The smart judge, correct yourself.
But the government, they could deport him back to his country in Serbia, and they could come as early as today. It's probably going to be tomorrow now. But his legal team will dispute it, so it'll be waiting till next week. So they could boot him out mid-tournament, which I would love that if he's on the court ready to play and you see security guards walk out there. Oh, wait, that would be super funny. They have a bunch of replacements for him depending on when he pulls out, whether it's before Friday or before Saturday, before Monday. He's actually could be facing legal action in Serbia because he said that he did test positive when he went to some interview for Le Equipe or whatever the brand is or the company. And now he could be facing legal action in Spain now because apparently he went to Spain before going to Australia knowing he tested positive.
All right, my head hurts already from this.
Days. So,
I hope he wins the Australian Open, and I hope during the awards ceremony he walks up there, he accepts his award and trophy so graciously, and then he just throws up these right here to every single Australian. Oh, yeah, my goodness.
He's still got to fight now his own country and Spain now.
I don't care. He can win. I hope he wins every major this year.
He does have a highly good legal team.
Good. He's rich. He should have a highly good team.
As he does.
We got to go to break. When we get back, guys, foreseeing the outcomes of the upcoming playoffs. Based on what exactly? I am going to tell you how everything will play out this postseason. Not with my opinion. You
give us the scores too?
Not with my opinion. Not with the current situations on the rosters. Not with any of that. No. I am going to tell you the outcome of the entire playoffs. Based on the most recent head-to-head matchups between the teams and who has won. And I think you're going to be really shocked who ends up in the Super Bowl. I don't think you'll believe it. It is amazing and funny to me, honestly. So we'll do that right after the break. But before we do, speaking of NFL playoffs, you should be betting on it. Guys, MyBookie's the place to be and the place to bet. Sign up today using code Woodward and make your deposit a bank. Double your money instantly in your account up to $1,000. A dollar for dollar match. You put in $500, they'll give you $500. You put in $200, they'll match you with $200. Guys, bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. Sign up today using code Woodward. Again, and as always, if you have a gambling problem, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. We're going into Wildcard weekend, and Adam has some crazy predictions for you.
Where's my crystal ball this morning? You guys are going to love this.
He's predicting the future.
Oh,
it's I
can see all. I see all and know all. Guys, I did a lot of research last night. And I'm going to tell you exactly how these NFL playoffs will be going based on the most recent head-to-head matchup. So we'll start in the NFC. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Philadelphia Eagles. Who wins in this game? The most recent head-to-head matchup says
the Eagles.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They did play, and the Buccaneers did stomp them in their most recent matchup, which was in 2021, this season. I believe it's 34-21. The Buccaneers won. So the Buccaneers do advance to the divisional round based on the most recent head-to-head. The next game in the NFC, the 49ers versus the Cowboys. They have not played since 2020 against each other. Who wins this game, ladies and gentlemen? Drum roll, please. The Dallas Cowboys win. The last time they played was in 2020, not this season, but last season, and the Cowboys did come out on top. So, what does that mean? That means so far we've got the Buccaneers and the Cowboys going through in the wild card round. The final game of the wild card weekend, the Rams versus the Cardinals. Guys, I'm sure memory suits you correctly. Late in the year, the Rams did beat the Cardinals. That was their most recent head-to-head matchup. So the Rams go through, which sets us up with a divisional round of the Packers versus the Buccaneers and the Cowboys versus the Rams. Now, Adam, what are you doing here? What's going on? Well, the last time the Buccaneers played the Packers was the NFC Championship game of last season. And, of course, we all know who won that game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So who, between the Packers and the Bucs, will get to the NFC title game? There's your answer. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will. And who will they be playing between the Cowboys and the Rams? The Rams won the most recent head-to-head matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. So, ladies and gentlemen, your NFC title game will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Los Angeles Rams. Let's go to the AFC before we get to who gets to the Super Bowl. Chiefs Steelers. We all know, recent memory, the Steelers got pummeled by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs win. They move on to play the winner to play the number one seed, which is the Tennessee Titans. The Bills versus the Patriots. Again, memory serves me correctly. They played this year already. The Bills won the most recent matchup, so the Bills advance. And then the Bengals Raiders. They have not played for a minute. The Bengals won the most recent head-to-head matchup. So, in the divisional round, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Chiefs versus the Titans and the Bills versus the Bengals. Who advances? Any guesses between the Chiefs and Titans? Any guesses? I got one Tennessee in the room. Fish? Who wins between the Chiefs and Titans based off recent head-to-head?
Probably the Titans.
All right, well, you guys are absolutely spot on. The Titans do beat the Chiefs, and they advance to the AFC title game under Mike Vrabel, who probably is Coach of the Year. Who will they be playing, the Bills or the Bengals? In their most recent head-to-head matchup, the
Bills.
Buffalo Bills beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So you have an AFC title game of the Bills and Titans, an NFC title game of the Rams and the Bucks. Now, who's in the Super Bowl based on these projections? This is where it gets fun. The Rams and the Buccaneers played this year, ladies and gentlemen. Week 3 or 4, I believe.
They did.
And the Rams did win, which means the Los Angeles Rams are making the Super Bowl in this alternate universe. So the Rams have won the NFC title. They have booked their chance or their spot. They have booked their spot in the Super Bowl. And, of course, the Titans versus the Bills. Who wins that matchup? Well, most recently, the Titans did beat the Bills. So the Titans and the Rams are in the Super Bowl. What a matchup, right? Who would have thought that? But here's where the heartbreak comes. The Rams do not win this matchup. Why? Because they lost this season to the Tennessee Titans. They actually got bullied against the Titans. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're Super Bowl champions this year, based off of most recent head-to-head matchups. The Tennessee Titans are your Super Bowl champions.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? I love this. This may be totally wrong. This may be totally wrong. Could be really, really bad. And again, the seeding could change. That is totally, you guys are totally correct on this. But I just went top to bottom. Those are the matchups. That's what's going to happen. And I'm all for it. I am all for it. Look, I like this alternate universe. I did this for a reason. Titans win it all based on this model. Now, it could totally change, obviously. Totally get that. Derrick Henry coming back, though. I like the Titans here. I really do.
I'm not mad about that.
And just so you know, I did all the scenarios, guys. Different seedings. The Titans win, I think, 3 out of the 4 times I did it.
Most of the time.
So, watch out for the Titans this year. That's interesting.
Moral of the story.
I may never do this again, depending how this goes. This could be so wrong. We'll see. We'll see what our win percentage is doing this. But Maddie.
Yes.
Let's get into Wildcard weekend now. Game you're looking most forward to.
Ooh.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got 3 days of games.
We do. We have 3 days of games, a whole weekend worth of games. But I think the game I'm looking most forward to, honestly, is the Bengals-Raiders game. I think that's going to be a great game. I like that game.
Bengals-Raiders. I love that game because one of them will be getting their first playoff win. So it's like a feel-good story, you know?
Yeah.
Either Burrow or Derek Carr. One of them's going to walk away like, damn, that's our first playoff win. You know what I mean? So I like stories. But the one that absolutely has my body shivering, my insides shaking, turning, whatever the common use for that, whatever phrase is the Monday night game. You're going to make me wait till Monday to figure out if this guy's going to deliver for the Rams or not? God, I hate the NFL. They're so good. They're so good.
You know they did
know
that
what they're
on purpose.
doing. Oh, they know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. I got to watch football all weekend. All weekend. Just to figure out if this guy's going to deliver for the Los Angeles Rams. Who, by the way, I don't know if you guys picked up on the story. The Rams did call Eric Waddle out of retirement.
Really?
The safety retired, I want to say, 2 years ago. And 29 career interceptions. Solid player. Was a captain for that team. And he retired. Now 37 years old. Will be returning. I'm not sure what shape he's in. But, I mean, that's news to me. I don't know what kind of injuries they're dealing with. But that's news to me. We'll have to see how that plays out. But look. Patty Grimes has been calling it all year. I know you all want the Rams to lose in the first round. But damn it.
I would love to see him win in the first round.
I want. You know what I want more than anything, Maddie?
Tell me.
Even though I've already been given it, but Lions fans won't accept it. So, like, it's the goalposts will keep changing with the city in terms of the quarterback until, like, they're right.
Right.
So I'll never win with them. But he already won a division.
Yeah.
Never did that in Detroit.
Nope.
So he's in 1 year outside of Detroit, he's already proven that, oh, yeah, I can win a division with you guys. Surround me with what I need. Okay. So for 12 years, Detroit, you didn't surround him with what he needed. He did it in 1 year. Now, what's the bonus, the next step? Well, playoff wins, obviously.
Yeah.
He's 0-3 in the playoffs. That narrative is, whatever you want to call it, it is the truth. It is a factual. He is 0-3. And he has performed not great in the last 2. Those are facts. So he's going to have to step up this postseason. I really do. But it breaks my heart that I did this simulation, and it has the Rams getting to the Super Bowl.
To the Super Bowl.
But losing to the Titans. Oh, my God, the heartbreak. And you know what's funny? Let's say it does play out that way. Oh, well, we told you, Adam. Stafford can't deliver in the big games. He didn't win a Super Bowl. Like, I can't wait for this stuff.
No, there will be no winning. Even if he won the Super Bowl, there would be no winning. They'd
the
be like,
defense
oh, well,
carried him, or he
threw
went
the
to
most
Sean McVay.
interceptions in the whole year. He sucks at quarterback. That's always going to be the thing.
Yeah, look, Guys, I see it in the chat. The Calvin Johnson's next at 9:40. We're getting a Calvin. Chill out. We're getting a Calvin. Right now, though, NFL playoffs. In this alternate universe, though, based on recent head-to-head matchups, the Rams lose to the Titans in the Super Bowl, which is extremely hilarious to me. If you guys want, I will do another version of this, maybe after the first wildcard weekend. Maddie, we could be so wrong on this. This could be a complete disaster.
It could be fun.
I mean, I could be 0 for 8. This could be really bad. I could miss the whole thing. I could mess the whole thing up. The Steelers could mess it up for me. Eagles.
The Steelers are not going to mess it up for you.
You know what would be amazing, though? And this is the conversation I want to have with Lions fans, but I don't think they're ready to have it. Is when you look back on his 12 years here, what was disappointing? Was it the teams? Because they weren't all that great. What was it? The coaches? Yeah, they weren't all that great.
Yeah.
And what coach did you have that actually has won divisions? Gotten you to a division title? Gotten you to the playoffs in 1 game? None.
Yeah.
Is that just Stafford? I gave you the last 25-year sample. I don't know what else I have to tell you guys. I just said it earlier. In 58 years, you've won 3 divisions.
Yeah.
Is it the quarterback? What's the issue with Stafford? That's what I want to understand. What is the issue we have with Stafford? Oh, he could never deliver in the big moments. What big moments were you guys ever in?
Right.
Seriously. You mean the first playoff game he ever delivered? Yeah, against the Saints, he threw for over 400 yards. That game where your defense gave up over 40 points? To the eventual Super Bowl champions, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, you meaning when you lost to Dallas on the bogus defensive pass interference call? Sure. But you did have the ball. He did not go down and win the game, and Jim Caldwell did not go for it on 4th and 1. Oh, Seattle, when you slumped into the playoffs, the team was not good at all, and you got mollywopped. Yeah. I want to know what exactly Detroit Lions fans are mad about when it comes to this quarterback. He's already won a division.
I think Lions fans are going to blame the quarterback regardless.
So if he wins a playoff game, what's the next one, Lions fans? I want to know. If he wins on Monday, breaking news? Oh. Love you, Corey. If he wins on Monday, then what? What's the goalpost going to move to now? Oh, well, he can't get you to a title game.
Oh, well, he's going to choke next round.
Well, I want to observe, realistically. So for me, all Stafford has to do is win 1 playoff game and 1 division. He already has 1 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that, for me, it tells me that the Lions were not able to build around him correctly. And the other team was able to do it in 1 year. That's what it tells me. That's the reality. I just want people to wake up to that reality. Will they? I don't think so. But we're going to talk some Calvin next. Corey, you want to hop on? Talk some Calvin Johnson? What the hell's going on there? I zoomed in on that photo. I thought it was a check. It wasn't. I think everybody was disappointed with that. What the hell's going on? Is he doing community service work? We'll get to all that later, but I got to talk to you about a new sponsor on the team. You've seen them on the bottom bar periodically throughout the show, but now it's official, guys. Planet Fitness has joined the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, it's time to get in shape. It's time to make yourself feel better. It's time to turn your life around. Guys, Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Feel good about yourself, communicate with others, have a good time. Join the club today. You can sign up for $10 a month or the black card that's $22.99, which gives you access to the spa, all the good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Guys, Planet Fitness, so many locations around Metro Detroit. Very convenient. I'm sure there's one next to your house. New year, new me, guys. One of the things I really encourage all of you to do is take your physical and mental health super seriously. Get started with Planet Fitness. If you haven't signed up already, sign up today. We'll see you guys after the break with Corey for Calvin Johnson.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brady Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Sports on Demand.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Putting him open in the corner, he triples.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, a lot of rumors are flying around right now after Megatron posted a picture of him. Back in the lion's den was the caption. What are we making of this, Adam?
I don't even, honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure what I want to make of this. Corey's joining me this morning, which I am extremely happy about. So excited to ask him, 1, what the hell is going on? 2, what's the vibe in the building? And 3, why now? First, Barry Sanders goes on Pat McAfee yesterday, talks about how the team is so close, everything's in the right direction, kumbaya, we're going to the playoffs, etc., etc. Now Calvin Johnson posts a picture in the Lions Den. Corey, what the hell's going on?
Well, don't want to burst anybody's bubble or, what they say, put a pin in somebody's balloon, but I didn't do it. Dave Burkett, the Free Press, did it. He said that basically, just to paraphrase what he said on Twitter, that Calvin Johnson being at Ford Field yesterday did not mean that he and the organization mended fences. He was there on attending other business. So it looked good yesterday. It was a real feel-good moment. Him posting on Twitter yesterday that, and then if you looked on his Instagram post, he talked about, he was sitting in the bleachers, said he's never been in that point of view. Maybe he'll get season tickets next year. So it was a real feel-good moment, but doesn't mean that him and Lions mend organizations.
And it didn't seem that way for me. And you guys have to understand he has a dispensary business that he's extremely involved in.
Oh, yeah,
and
very much so.
I'm sure that was something to do with why he was there, whether it was buying advertisements, making deals, whatever it may be. But, Corey, what the hell is Barry Sanders doing? Never talked in his whole life. Dan Campbell gets hired, doesn't shut the hell up. And look, I love Barry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to talk down to Barry Sanders, but what the hell's going on? What's up with this PR movement from the Detroit Lions where they're going everywhere and spreading love, positivity, playoffs? Oh, my God.
Well, I'm just going to give my opinion.
Is he being paid to say it?
I'm going to give you my opinion of it. I think what is going on right now is you've been a Lions fan your whole life. You've watched the team. I think you can understand what I'm saying when I say this. Every time the Lions have actually tried to sell or rebuild, they're changing things, they're going in a different direction. It's always been Band-Aid jobs. They've never really took the time to say, hey, we're going to do this correctly. We're going to tear this all the way down and try to really not rebuild the culture because they haven't had a real culture to begin with. Let's tear this down and create a culture. Let's go ahead and do things the right way. Let's bring back our great players like a Chris Spielman, a Barry Sanders, attempting to get Calvin Johnson in the fold. Let's bring our greats back and try to get them involved in the organization somehow. We haven't seen that. As of right now, it appears on surface, it looks like Sheila Ford is trying to do that. Hence the hiring of Chris Spielman. Hence, Barry Sanders going out and doing these, speaking a little bit more. Maybe there's something working on behind the scenes that
though was on the bottom line yesterday, and I was so excited to listen into that. And he played down Chris Spielman's role. Or at least that's what I took away from it. Mm-hmm. And Corey, look. The first topic of the show, I opened up about 15 minutes. I talked about why it's important to learn from history. 58 years, the Lions have 3 division wins, 1 playoff win. Fair? Yep. We can all acknowledge that. I'm not dissing the team. It's just factual. Yeah. The Green Bay Packers, after they won the first 2 Super Bowls, from 1967 to 1995, won 3 divisions in 28 years. They went through a slump. The Minnesota Vikings, 4 Super Bowls in the 1970s they appeared in. They have not been to one since 1977. But in that point, in that time frame, 77 to 2021, Corey, they've won 11 divisions. They've been to 5 NFC title games. I mean, you get to a title game every 8 years. It's not ideal, but the fans see it.
Yeah.
The Lions, 58 years, 3 divisions. You can't win the division every 18 years, 19 years. See where I'm going with this? So I get the fan perspective, the organization perspective of wanting to make it feel different.
Yeah.
But the only way you really make this different is on the field. At the end of the day.
Absolutely. I believe it's a wins-loss business in sports. That's what it all comes down to. But at the end of the day, even let's just say even with the Jim Caldwell era or even Jim Schwartz, I mean, they weren't really winning, but I guess what I'm going with this is it's never at any point really felt good, felt tangible, something you can sink your teeth into, something where you see hope down the line. Like even though you know how I feel about Jim Caldwell, you knew at one point the bottom was going to fall out.
Corey,
right now you
how
at
many
least
teams
see
win
hope.
the Super Bowl every year?
You said what?
How many teams win the Super Bowl every year?
Win one.
Okay. How many teams in a given division, so the AFC North, NFC North, doesn't matter. How many teams in one division can win the division title? Start there, guys. If Caldwell would have delivered a division title, he's here to this day.
Oh, yeah.
And the trajectory totally changes for the Lions.
I guess where I'm going with it is they're trying to change everything at once. Of course, they're working to improve the on-field product. I mean, I think, with the job they've done, with the injuries, COVID, undrafted free agents, I believe that expecting anything other than 3-13-1 is kind of really kidding yourself. So I believe that's going to go ahead and get better. But they've also had to change a lot of other things too, because not going to say who I've talked to, but just from being there, it was the effect that Quinn Trisha really had on the organization was a bad stench.
Toxic, huh?
It was toxic. And granted, at the end of the day, the on-the-field product matters, but they had to change that culture. They had to make everything.
You were there for the end of Quinn Trisha.
Yeah, I was there for the end of it when I was here, but also on the photography side, I still kind of
the difference in the building, I think, is clearly night and day between the two.
Easily.
So now, it's. I said this. We do a 5-word game on Wednesdays, Corey. 5 words to sum up a team, and the 5 words I gave the Lions was year 1 over. Start winning. You got the pass. You got the year. I think you did some good things. The Cardinals game for me was exactly what I wanted to see. Thank you. Move on. Okay, now you got to win. Nobody has 2-3. Matt Rule. I like Matt Rule. I think he's a damn good college coach. I think he's done a decent job on defense in the NFL. He's coached that team up. They've done good on their draft picks. I don't care. You don't get the quarterback right, you're not winning games, you're going to lose your job. Welcome to the NFL. You're not the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to have 2 coaches or 3 coaches in 40, 50 years. You're not. So, yeah, I hope going into this regime, 1 year now, people are confident in the GM.
Mm-hmm.
They're hopeful for the head coach. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind that. Think as you may. That when success comes around the corner, it is not justified as, we were 9-8. Oh, we were 10-7. We made the wild card. That's fine 1 year. But damn it, can you win a division?
I think division title has to be at least the first goal. I mean, Super Bowl, that's always. I think saying Super Bowl is a goal is really cliche because I don't think anybody's playing this to not get to the Super Bowl. But where the Lions already got to crawl before you walk, so I agree with you. Division title, that needs to be step 1, and then step 2 needs to be winning a playoff game. Then after that, let the chips fall where they lay.
Yeah, look, I brought this up literally to start the show, and I wanted to because I wanted to address the definition of success. The definition of success is not the Super Bowl. 1 team gets it every year. 31 failures. That's not success. Success is a stable team, a stable organization, consistent winning, division titles, etc., etc. And since 93, which is their last division title, 10 coaches have won the division, none of which have been Lions coaches. 9 coaches since 1993 have not won the division. I'll name them for you. Bobby Ross, Marty Morningweg, Dave Wanstead, John Fox, Steve Mariucci, Rod Marinelli, Jim Schwartz, Jim Caldwell, Matt Patricia. I am not counting Dan Campbell because he's only been here a year. Of the 9 coaches that have not won a division since 93, 7 are Detroit Lions coaches.
Gotta change.
John Fox left, they won the division. Dave Wanstead left, they won the division. Chicago. The Vikings, every coach they've hired in that period since 93 has won a division for them. The Packers has won a division for them. The Bears has won a division for them outside of Fox and Wanstead. Start at the division and work your way up from there.
I think they'll have a shot at it too. They'll definitely have a shot
Easy
at
schedule.
it. I mean, you've seen the schedule. It's things are going to change in free agency right now. But I mean, when you're looking at the schedule, the Vikings and the Bears, they're going to have new head coaches next year. Shoot, you're looking at the Packers. Who knows if Aaron Rodgers is going to be there next year or not? Whether he's going to just do the whole dance and pony show again, or he's actually going to be out. So I mean, right now with the way it's looking, I'm not going to sit up here and say the Lions are going to win the division next year, but I mean, it's going to be open.
They should be fighting for the second spot in that division.
Absolutely,
Minimum.
absolutely.
Minimum. Well, we got to go to break real quick. If you want to stick around, Corey, the last 10 minutes of the show, I just answer questions from the chat. So if you want to stick around, guys, and ask Corey and myself questions, happy to answer them all for you. When we get back, we'll see you right after the break. Mailbag time.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. After the show, you can check us out if you missed any part of the show on our podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You'll likely find the Morning Woodward Show and every show from the Woodward Sports Network. Let's start with a different question, Corey. Going into next year, again, I don't know what's going to happen in the draft, free agency. I have so many unanswered questions, but I do have the schedule in front of me. And you can't tell me that's not a 7-8-1 football team.
Oh yeah, that's easily. I mean, I'm looking at it. Let me pull it up myself because I'm just gonna go.
You play the NFC East and the AFC East.
I don't care. I had this argument with somebody yesterday. Not yesterday, but it was my cousin. The Lions should beat the Giants. I don't care. They should beat the Jets. I think they can be able to get with the Cowboys is a hit or miss, but I think they can get with the Giants, the Jets, and possibly the Panthers on the road. So I'm thinking at least 3 road wins next year.
Yeah,
maybe a 4 is a possible, but at least 3 because I think they should be able to beat both New York teams easily. But when you're looking at that home schedule, I'm gonna be honest. I think the home schedule is pretty favorable. Very favorable, actually.
Yeah, look, again, way too early to call games, but
yeah,
it's way too early, very
but
favorable schedule. At least we can agree there.
Yeah, it's favorable. I mean, I think honestly, it all depends on who they draft, all depends when they get into free agency, but still, Lions fans should at bare minimum expect 7 wins. Bare minimum.
You're gonna hate this question, and I think not. You're gonna hate the question. You're gonna hate my answer.
Okay.
Would you trade T.J. Hawkinson to a bottom feeder to try and secure a top 10 pick in 2023 and still win games? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, that's 2023. So I have all of this year to evaluate T.J. Hawkinson. If he can stay healthy and he really has a breakout year, which is what you expected this year, oh, hell yeah, you keep T.J. Hawkinson. But if, the injuries are piling up again and he's not available, well then, that's a tough call to make. Would you trade him for a top 10 pick? If somebody would offer it, but to be honest with you, it's a weird question because I don't think no team in the NFL would offer a top 10 pick.
No.
For an injury-prone top 6 tight end?
I think the better question is if, he balls out next year or if he's injured next year, how much money do you give him, long term or whatnot? I think that would be the real question. I don't think regardless of how good he balls out, like you said, I don't think anybody top 10 is going to trade for him. But if you were able to pull that off, you got to entertain it.
Top 10 pick. I mean, that's
you got to entertain it. I mean, you're trying to rebuild the team.
That's a steal for a tight end
from the ground up. So I mean, you got to entertain that.
Absolutely. Question from Matt. Why draft a potential number 1 wide receiver if we can sign a known number 1 in free agency? I also think we don't need to draft secondary players. Best position group when healthy outside of our O-line. Corey, let's address the wide receiver position. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're spending money in free agency. I just don't think they have the money. And to be honest with you, I think it'd be a waste. I'm not interested in Allen Robinson. Devontae Adams will not come here. So I'm not sure who the hell they're going to sign. So I'm not looking there. I'm looking in the second round, third round, going for a free agent. And honestly, Brad Holmes has earned the right to draft a wide receiver whenever the hell he wants.
I think he needs to go ahead and go younger. I mean, they tried to get Terrell Williams. That didn't work out, unfortunately. They went in the Brashard Perriman thing didn't work out, unfortunately. We don't know what's going to happen with Quintez Cephas next year. I don't think he's a number 1. Honestly, but I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with him next year. I think right now this team needs to go ahead and focus on getting younger, get somebody in the draft, like you said, in the third. I would say third or fourth round. Second, if there's somebody you just can't pass in the second round, so be it. But I think third or fourth round, and look at bringing back Josh Reynolds, because obviously there's some familiarity and comfortability there with him and Goff. Of course, you got Amon-Ra on the fold. Entertain, probably bringing back Khalif in some kind of role, but you don't need to go out and go get a wide, spend some buku money to get a wide out right now. To me, it doesn't make any sense. But now you said, now let's go to that secondary. Look, I know that Aaron Glenn did well with the undrafted free agents, although in all the injuries this year. I give you that. It was a respectable job. But if they can upgrade in that secondary, do it. I would like to see them more focus on getting that front seven better. But you can get a game changer in the secondary to plug in there. Hey, go ahead and grab them.
I love this question from Pistons Talk. The Hawks are shopping John Collins and Cam Reddish. I'd prefer John Collins. I'm not a Cam Reddish guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, he busted. Lottery pick, never turned out to much. Give me John Collins. But you're going to have to give up so much for John Collins. That's the problem. You're going to have to trade a good player.
So are we talking about John Collins to the Pistons or just in general?
To the Pistons. Between him and Reddish, I'm taking Collins. But
I'm going to take Collins, but I'm like, who would the Pistons give up?
You're probably going to have to give up Jeremy Grant, and I'm not sure. Anthony, you can probably answer that one. Stop asking me that question.
Yeah,
you answer that question.
I've been watching football all year.
One more quick question we got to answer before we go. First round of the NFL draft. Top of the board, number 2 overall. Safety or edge rusher? Meaning Hamilton or an edge rusher?
Oh, I got to go edge.
I go edge too.
I gotta go.
It's
edge.
tough for me to take Hamilton at 2. It really is.
If
I could trade back and get him, I would do it.
If you could trade back, yeah, but you got to go edge. I mean,
it's they have TJ Watt. Look at the teams in the playoffs; they all have an edge rusher.
And also, too, I don't want to say they hinted at Trey Flowers being out, but at the same time, the writing,
$8 million.
The writing is on the wall. And so, he may be out of Dodge. You got to go ahead and get that. I don't know whether Hutchinson or Thibodeau is going to go 1 or 2. I see right now Field Yates. I believe he has Hutchinson going 1, which to me, if the Lions are able to get Thibodeau, that'd be the better. I think that would be the better choice.
Interview with Joe Klatt. All right, watch it and then get back to me on wanting to take Thibodeau.
Okay.
Get back to me.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the morning show today. Corey, I appreciate you coming in at the end. Appreciate you as always. Fish, Alex, thank you guys. And as always, everybody who tuned in today, can't thank you enough for spending time with us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, Super Wildcard weekend in the NFL. I am so excited for this. I have an obsession and an addiction to football. I can't help it. What are you going to do about it? I'll see you guys tomorrow. So excited. Hopefully Jeff back Monday. Catch you guys tomorrow.